Willie D Live.
What's up, family? I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there right now. This is going to be one of my best videos because this is a long overdue discussion that we need to have. Come on in, family. Let's get to it. So, streamer Cenat hopped on Shannon Sharp's show, Club Shay Shay, and they got to a part where he discussed his father who had been absent during his upbringing. Kai said, "I'm cool with my daddy, I forgave him." And some people lost their minds. They're like, hell no. No, man, you can't just be forgiving him like that. Some people pointed out how quickly children are to forgive their deadbeat fathers. What do y'all think about that, fam? I mean, is there any coming back from being a deadbeat dad, in your opinion? I mean, should you reserve forgiveness? Well, according to Kai, when he was younger, he didn't want anything to do with his father. And he said, even though there is no excuse for a man to not be there, I've grown older to accept the fact and forgive. He said, I don't know what was going on in his life at that time. I don't know if he was stressed or whatever. But he said he forgave him. He's moved on. His daddy has kids from another woman. He loves the kids. They love him. They remind him of him and his brother when they were small. Cenat has moved on. He has forgiven his deadbeat dad. Y'all got a problem with that? I don't. Here's why. Everybody's situation is different. It takes a lot for someone to forgive their dad about anything, let alone a deadbeat dad, a dad who was absent, who missed those formidable years, who was not there to raise you, who was not there to chip in, who was not there to help out financially, not there to protect you. That takes a lot. If I look at my own situation, my daddy wasn't there. I'd be lucky to see my daddy inside of a whole year. He was not there. He was absent. I'll never make an excuse for a man who has an option to be present in his child's life and chooses not to. There's always extenuating circumstances. But if you have an option and you choose not to be in your child's life, ain't no excuse for that. And forgiveness can only be granted by the person, that child that was affected. And in this situation, Cenat was that child who was affected, and he has forgiven his father. Now, back to me. My father, he was not the type of dude who was confrontational. If somebody didn't want to mess with him, he'd go on about his business. My daddy was the type of dude, if you didn't speak to him first, he was not speaking to you. I don't care who you were. He would not say anything. My mama, on the other hand, was a different person. My mama, as much as I loved her, my mama was an abusive woman. And I mean, she'll swing on anybody. My mama sliced a white man up in the 60s for calling her the N-word. Yeah. So, my mama was, when you talk about body, she was body. She was a difficult person to live with. Love her to life. But my mama was difficult to deal with. And for some men who go out of their way to avoid confrontation by all means, even if the confrontation is warranted. That's just something that they're going to try their best to circumvent. They're going to try to stay away from that type of situation. I'm not that dude. If it come down to my kids, I'm going for mine by any means necessary. I'm going for mine. I'm not accepting nothing that the court said. In fact, if the court tells me I can't see my kids, guess what? Man, it's going to be a problem. It would be a serious problem. Ain't no woman made a woman could run me off. No matter what type of attitude she have, gonna stop me from seeing my kids. And here's the thing about the women with the attitudes that we talk about that we don't want to confront because we don't want to end up in jail or having to hurt somebody or getting hurt. Those are the women we chose. You knew who she was when you procreated with her. And if you didn't know who she was, that means that you didn't take time out to really get to know who she was. And next thing you know, 2 laid down and 3 got up. And now you're like a deer in headlights and you're playing the victim. That's right, I said it ain't no victims unless you're going to count the kids. Because we choose who we are going to lie down with and procreate with. Okay, you say, well, I didn't choose the rubber burst. Well, I didn't choose, she didn't take her birth control. No, you chose because you took that gamble. You trusted her. You trusted the rubber. And look what happened. Yeah, you trusted your pullout game. And look what happened. Now, so it's not any excuses, but you have to put things in context. Not all dudes are going to be as diligent as a Willie D about being involved in his children's life if he thinks that it's going to cause drama, if he thinks it's going to cause him to get thrown in jail or maybe get himself physically hurt or cause him some type of anxiety or whatever. And that's not to give the guys who are just straight up deadbeats who try to avoid accountability, who try to avoid responsibility, a pass. We're not trying to give them a pass. Yeah, they get what they get. I'm talking about the ones where that gray area is. So we can't give women this just a free pass to act any kind of way and do whatever they want to do. No matter what type of woman she is, she gets the benefit of the doubt. But the dude, no matter what type of dude he is, he got to get thrown to the lines like all the other deadbeats. That ain't how I go. That ain't cool. I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. While I don't believe in giving passes to deadbeat fathers, I do believe that if a child can find it in their heart to forgive their deadbeat father, then that should be enough. Like what we think shouldn't matter because all of us got our own issues to deal with. And I do want to ask y'all this. What if the roles were reversed? What if Cenat's father had raised him and his mom was absent and she wanted back in his life? Would you guys have the same amount of venom toward the mother? Would you say, nah, don't forgive her, F her. She wasn't there all those years. You don't need her anymore. You're a man and you became a man without her. So you don't need her. So therefore, you need to scratch her off. Just tell her to go on about her business. Would that be y'all reaction? Or would y'all say, that's sweet. Oh man, Mama was on drugs, and she just wasn't healthy. So the best thing was that she wasn't in the house, because who knows, she probably would have hurt him. She probably would have harmed him in some type of way. And so by her not being there, he turned out to be a good young man. I've heard that argument before. I have seldom heard that argument in support of an absentee father. I surmise that one of the reasons why mothers get such a benefit of the doubt, because the mothers are, by societal norms, the caretakers. They're the primary caregivers, right? They're nurturing. And fathers oftentimes, even when they're in the home, they're emotionally distant. And fathers are, typically looked at as, the stronger guy, right? So oftentimes there's little forgiveness. See, when daddies have flaws, it's personal. When mamas have flaws, it's life. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.